Well, 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 what do we have here? This is none other than the Poikilo Al-Khem, meaning alchemy. This is a knife you may have seen on some other social media and YouTube, and maybe you've gotten to handle one yourself. Well, I am very grateful that I was able to take a look at one of these. A lot of people say they work like magic. I'm trying to fling it out with some limited space here, but you can see that when we open the knife, we can slow it down a little bit, it retracts these outer blades out. Now we can actually adjust that, where if we turn them this way and open it out, well, that doesn't happen. And I was very curious to see how that worked. So these are actually, this is actually an M390 blade, and all titanium in a really heavy dark wash. There is some really nice milling on it, and it is, I'll say, a showpiece. This is a demonstration of engineering. This is not a that we should. We just wanted to see that we could. And it is a really cool knife. It is just a really interesting piece that is really cool. It makes a really cool sound, and I'm really happy that I was able to take a look at it. This isn't going to be my everyday carry by any means, and I've actually seen where people have used and sharpened these things, and there is a sharp edge on it, but I mean, that thing's a wedge. I don't know what you're cutting with that. You could if you really tried, but I'd love to see the guy who's using this to open up Amazon boxes. So let's get to how this mechanism works. So if we rotate these, now we can see when we deploy the blade, those outer blades pop out. That's probably the alchemy part of the name of this knife. We pull back on this tab here, which unlocks it, and that allows it to swing shut, and we can pull back on it again and swing it open to deploy. So we slow things down, and we can see that there are these little gears or cams that are attached to the center piece. And as we open it, it moves those outwards, moves them open. And that movement takes place because of these teeth along this shaft that runs down the center of this middle piece here. So we can see that those teeth are moving back and forth when I move the knife or in and out of a deployment position. Well, that middle shaft isn't actually the thing that's moving. These outer pieces that are on the outside of the shaft is moving up and down, and the shaft is actually staying still. So what's happening when we are moving these pieces, when we are rotating in different directions, is there is a hump that is rotating in here. And if the hump is oriented up, as these come out, we can look here that these outer pieces are actually separate from the inner piece there. Let me try to get the... So we can see that these outer pieces are connected over to these arms that ride along that radius. And when that groove is in place, it forces those arms upward while keeping that center shaft, which is attached to the whole rotating pivot, that stays in place. So as these arms get forced upwards and that shaft stays in place, we get these gears rotated along that center shaft because those teeth are moving down and orient to them, and it deploys it out that way. Pretty interesting. And again, this is just a cool factor here. There's no, I did a short with this one, and there were some people saying like, oh, what's the point of that? You can't cut anything with that. Like I said, I'd love to see the guy who's using this thing as their everyday carry. Like, wouldn't you love to see somebody just whip this thing out to, open a pack of cookies or something like that, or a Amazon box? But the Poikilo Al-Khem, really interesting knife. Really glad I was able to take a look at it. And let's get to how I was able to take a look at it. So this was actually on lender from WeBuyKnifeCollections.com. If you're into high-end customs and hard-to-find pieces, check out what's available at WeBuyKnifeCollections.com. They've always got a rotating lineup of collector-grade knives, worth a look if you're hunting for something unique. And, I'm really happy that I've been able to establish a relationship with Ray from We Buy Knife Collections, because I get to take a look at these cool knives and I get to show them to you. I hope you don't mind my promotions. I'm happy to promote him. He's actually a collector himself. He's part of the knife community. You know, you should go check him out on Instagram. His Instagram, actually, I'll throw it up. It is, I believe, We Buy and Sell Knives. And he is on YouTube as well, at We Buy Knife Collections LLC. So check him out. He's out there. He's a collector himself. He posts some really interesting custom pieces. I mean, custom knife world is a different world, and there's people out there who are into that world, and maybe you'll get to see some of those too. Those are some crazy, interesting pieces, all very handmade, really special stuff. But the Poikilo Alchemy, not quite the same thing, but I'd say on the same caliber of interesting, if not more. Probably the most interesting knife I've ever been able to handle. But I hope that kind of clears up how this knife actually works. It's not magic, it's not a mystery, just some really neat, interesting engineering. Thank you for watching.